Hey everyone, it's Michelle here with my skincare collection, both items that are stored, what I'm currently using, stuff that I, haven't even opened, stuff that's expired, and empties, including some of last year's empties. The reason I am showing you all this today is because I wanted to start decluttering and organizing my skincare items. Typically around this time of year, I like to do just that. I already did it with my clothing, so I have a bunch of bags ready to go to be donated to specific people. But for skincare, what's interesting about it is that I feel a lot more feelings because these are products I spent my money on that expire, and if I don't use it in a timely manner, then all that money is literally going in the trash. So I thought by just filming my whole declutter and organization process, it might encourage those of you watching to maybe do the same before you consider buying anything this month during the Black Friday sales. It's not to say, like I said, I won't buy anything, but I'm definitely going to be way more selective and cognizant of what I'm buying and how much I'm buying. I'm going to give you an example really quickly. There are a couple of sunscreens here that I purchased last year in the summer that I thought I would have used up by now, and I haven't. The point being that I stocked up on sunscreen during a sale, but it's been over a year and I still haven't opened any of them. So it's just a bit of insight as to what do we really need, and more importantly, how fast am I going through skincare, because I only have one face and this is all skincare just for me. It's not for my husband, definitely not for my daughter. If anything, there's some skincare devices in here that were gifted from my mother-in-law to my husband and as an extension to me to use, but we haven't been using them. In fact, looking at this bin, I completely forgot what was in here. So this is what I'm going to be doing today and just sharing with you all the insanity that is my skincare collection, because why do I need so much stuff when I only use a few items a day? Has anyone heard of the Alison Bornstein closet editing system? That's essentially what I used to declutter and organize my fall/winter wardrobe. And I'm kind of going to approach it the same way with the skincare, just to make my life a little bit easier. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put aside all the stuff that I'm actually using and want to keep. So it's not just the stuff that's currently in rotation, but all the packaged stuff as well. There are a lot more items than I thought there would be. Honestly, this is already so overwhelming with the stuff I want to keep, and it's just really insightful as to how much stuff I have. And I kind of just have an urge to toss everything and start over, if I'm being completely honest. It's just way too much. All the skincare at the front here, I'm going to keep. I'm going to put to the side, and then I'm going to take out everything else to show you all. Before I set this aside, I'm going to share with you all what I'm actually using. I'm going to use this dirty tray quickly to show you what's frequently used. This is all the skincare I use very frequently, hence why it's in a bin, and it actually sits on top of my counter for easy access. So there is one cleanser here. Sometimes I reach for this cleanser, but most of the time it's like this cleanser every day. The Round Lab toner, La Roche-Posay Secret Plus Balm, this Cetaphil moisturizer, some benzoyl peroxide, sunscreen, a selection of the Geek and Gorgeous actives. This is the BHA and PHA exfoliant, the retinol, power peptides, and Sea Glow, eye cream that my sister gifted me, and an occlusive. Out of everything you see here, this is what I'm mainly using. Now everything else here is what I use on occasion / have in stock. For some reason, I like keeping a variety of cleansers on hand and every single one is open. I clearly have a thing where I like to use different cleansers at different moments, and I think this is where I have a problem with having too many of the same thing open at once, more so than sunscreen. These are makeup removers. I don't use them all the time because I haven't been wearing a whole lot of makeup lately, and I find a cleanser does the trick at removing everything skincare wise at the end of the day, but I keep these on hand and they're the only ones I reach for when it comes to makeup removal. These are some of the unopened skincare I have that I keep in stock, and like I said, with these two sunscreens in particular, I've had them for over a year, still not open. A moisturizer I'm really trying to finish up, but I just don't use it that frequently, and I swear I was possessed when I purchased this when, PDRN was really hyped up in 2024. I decided to get this, and it is not something I would care to repurchase again. And as you saw, I have a basic regular moisturizer from the drugstore that I seem to like a lot more than the fancy ingredient one. These are other forms of exfoliation I like to do. So this one is an enzyme powder that my mom gave me. And these are massage creams. I've been using this brand in particular on and off for years now. It just has a special place in my skincare collection. And I really like reaching for it when I feel like just pampering myself in my skincare routine. So definitely keeping these. These here are all sheet masks and just hydrating boosters that my friend gave me. They're all one-use products, all in good condition. So I'm going to set these aside because I actually reach for them here or there when I want extra hydration in my skincare routine. Tried and true Vaseline. I like having this on hand, especially for my daughter if she needs it. And it's just the most basic occlusive, and it's boring, but that's why I like having it around. So this stays for sure. This clay mask I have had since last year. I did use it this year and I'm not even halfway done. Like, goes to show how often I use clay masks, but it still smells good. It doesn't look bad by any means, and I tested the texture out before. It's still okay. So this is staying in my collection. I got this at the beginning of 2024. I used it a handful of times. It reminds me of the J1 jelly pack that used to be really popular back in the day, especially when I used to do a full face of makeup, but I really like it as just some type of hydrating product before I put on makeup, especially because on the occasion I do wear some tint and stuff, and I like my face to stay nice and hydrated and not get too dried out. So that's where this would come in handy, and my makeup would last quite a while with this. Rose water, just a nice everyday spray. These are acne patches, so on the offhand I get the cystic spot, I reach for one of these. And last but not least, I bet you're curious as to why I have these, but these are basically conductor gels for microcurrent devices. And I have 2 microcurrent devices, which I will show you probably later on. This is it for the skincare that I know I will be keeping. Now let's get into the rest of it. Let's talk about the most obvious stuff here, which is the garbage. This bag here is filled with all the 2025 empties. I thought instead of doing a seasonal empty show, I want to see what I use up in the year of 2025 and just reflect on my purchases in general and what I actually use in skincare. So this I'm going to actually keep on the side until near the end of the year when I feel like I'm not going to be using up any more skincare. This, however, are from 2024, and I don't know why I kept it for so long. I felt like I was gonna show off everything in here at one point or another because there were some items to talk about, and I just never got around to it. So out of everything in here, I will just focus on a handful of things. So let's start with this micellar water. It's the Garnier one. Trying this and comparing it to the Bioderma one, I feel like there's a weird film that this leaves on my skin. I much prefer the Bioderma one. It just makes my skin feel cleaner. That's why this is in the empties pile. La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm, just to reiterate that I have been using this non-stop since I reviewed it back in 2022, I believe. So it's been a continuous purchase in my skincare routine. I use it basically every night. The La Roche-Posay Anthelios UV Moon 450 Plus. This is when the new filters came out in La Roche-Posay. As you all probably can tell, I'm having a little bit of a brain fart. Mom brain is very real. Can't speak properly these days or think properly. Trying my best here. But for this one in particular, I would say out of the few that I've tried from the UV Moon line, this one is my favorite, even though I have an oilier skin type. I recently tried the Mellow one, the pigmentation one with the purple line, and that one broke me out pretty badly, like congested me. I brought that one with me to Canada to use. Couldn't use it, so I gave that one to my mother, and I ended up purchasing this La Roche-Posay sunscreen in Canada because it was the only thing my skin could take. Another sunscreen I wanted to talk about was this one right here, the Skin 1004 Centella Hyaluronic Water Fit Sun Serum. This was really nice when I was pregnant in my first trimester and my skin was super sensitive, and I thought to try my hand at using sunscreen again because at the time I was just using a hat for sun protection the entire time. This sunscreen actually was gentle on the skin and it was really lovely to put on. I really liked it, and I'm glad that it's something that I can easily pick up at the drugstore. But as you can see, I have quite a bit of other ones to go through, and I have found a different sunscreen that I really like since. So I probably won't be repurchasing this, but for those of you wondering, I was pretty impressed by this one at how gentle it was, and I liked it. An empty of the Sea Glow Serum. I've been purchasing this non-stop, and I've been using it way more consistently now that I am not pregnant anymore and my skin isn't as sensitive. Another Skin 1004 product was this Centella Ampule. I thought it would come in handy during my pregnancy because it was supposed to be gentle, but I found this so boring to use, frankly, and I think that can serve as a good thing depending on what you're trying to do in your skincare routine. But for me, like, this was just mildly hydrating, not really soothing, and I don't know, I just couldn't wait to finish it up. The Round Lab Toner, as you all know, I bought a smaller size just to try it. I really liked it, and I ended up purchasing the jumbo size that I'm still using on a frequent basis. Not really using toners a whole lot these days, but sometimes I feel like my skin needs an extra hydrating perk me up, and that's when a hydrating toner really comes in handy. The last empty I want to talk about from the 2024 bag is the Hada Labo Intense Hydrating Skin Plumping Gel. I believe this is the exact same as the Perfect Gel, the one in the gold jar that's sold in Japan. This is just the marketing for the Western market. I decided to try it again now that my skin is a little bit more oily, and I was kind of in search of a moisturizer that would work for my oilier skin type. So I picked this up, again, available at my local drugstore, which I really appreciated. I found it actually was too hydrating. It was too moisturizing for my skin. I noticed the effect where my pores were enlarging, and I felt like I was getting a little bit of blackheads. Whereas when my husband used this, and he's more of normal skin, maybe leaning dry, his skin was so nice and glowy when he was using this, but he didn't really like the texture a whole lot. He prefers the CeraVe moisturizing creams. The 2024 empties are finally going in the trash. Let's talk about this bin here. This is a very important one to talk about. These are expired skincare products. So I purchased this back when I tried my hand at face tanning. My friend really likes the face tanner from this brand, but I just was not consistent enough. And when I was using retinols and, trying to squeeze in a self tanner, it just wasn't happening. I was trying to use this oil on my face and appendectomy scars as well. I've just come to realize I don't really care for oils on my face. I just don't feel the need for them a whole lot unless I'm putting them on my lashes or my belly when it was growing to prevent stretch marks. But other than that, I almost never reach for a facial oil. So here's an expired skincare product. It is sunscreen. This is the Can Make Mermaid Skin Gel UV. I did a review on this years ago, and I think this sunscreen has reformulated since, because this looks way more shimmery on my face than I remember it. And I don't know why I haven't reached for it, because this was one of my favorite sunscreens of all time, and I shouldn't waste product like that. See, there's like a really nice shimmer, but on my face it just looks really bad, and I could see right now that it's not even setting properly and it's pilling really badly. So it's definitely very expired. This is definitely a regretful expired product because I used to love it. I just think it was just too shimmery at one point, which is why I never reached for it. I had the white one as well, the one that was full mineral, and that one just like absolutely did not work out. So this one's a sad one. Some other sad expired skincare here are these Paula's Choice travel sized exfoliants. The 2% BHA liquid exfoliant and the 8% AHA exfoliant. I can't even tell you why I wasn't using them. Like, this one is almost full. This one seems like halfway empty, and I think it's when I was trying to reintroduce exfoliants in my skincare routine, chemical exfoliants in particular. But I think that was around the time when I had my prescription of tretinoin bumped up, and so I had to put these on the back burner. I just ended up forgetting about them, and this was back in 2020, 2021 that I've had these. I'm afraid to put these on my face. Same with the rest of the items I will be showing you. Just don't use expired actives. So unfortunately, these ones have to go. Before I get into the most important actives of all, I just want to show you this product right here and why this one is a regretful expired product is because this is from Allies of Skin. I won it in a giveaway, but I just didn't like using it. The pump was already not working after a couple of uses. Well, now it's working, but the texture is off. This went bad for sure. But even the times when I was able to get the product out and I did use it, it stung my face. My face did not feel calm or recovered at all. So I ended up not reaching for this a whole lot. I instead reached for, you guessed it, the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm a lot more. So this expensive product unfortunately went to waste. Whether or not I purchased it, got it in a giveaway, it's wasteful, it's regretful, and I have to toss it now. The last set of expired products that absolutely must be seen by you all are my prescription strength retinoid products. So I have 0.3% adapalene from back in, yes, 2021. I have the 0.04 prescription, so the one I started using shortly after the adapalene, and the 0.1% tretinoin, but this one actually feels pretty empty in comparison to the other ones. Now, I kept these thinking that I would eventually use them up, maybe use them on my neck. I never got around to using any of these on my neck for that matter. As you all know, I got pregnant, had a baby, wasn't able to use any type of retinol whatsoever. These are definitely past the expiration date. You could see here 2022. I kept this going for a long time, so I wasn't too worried about this one when I was using it. This expired in 2021, so the same year I was prescribed it. And let's not talk about the expiration date on this one because I've been using adapalene since 2018, 2019. I think I got this one in, I want to say 2020, 2021 for sure. For those of us in the skincare community, this is definitely a regretful expired product. I wish I used them all when I had a chance, but that's okay. C'est la vie, shit happens, lesson learned. Right now, what I'm using is the Geek and Gorgeous A-Game, the 0.2% retinol strength. And I find this has been serving my skin really well. I can try to do a separate review on this another time, but I've had this bottle since March when I purchased it. I took a break in the summer and have been using it once the weather cooled down a bit. So this I've been really liking, and I think I will be sticking to this until I see a dermatologist and discuss what my next steps should be whether or not to continue this or to go with a prescription strength retinoid once again. Goodbye, expired products. Funny story, the rest of the footage I have when it comes to decluttering my skincare, which is some more random skincare, travel sizes, sample sizes, and skincare devices and tools. All that audio is distorted, it cannot be fixed, and I don't want to put any of you through that horrific sound, but I think 20 minutes into this video, my point is hopefully been brought across to you all, which is that I have way too much stuff. It's all stuff that expires, and I only have one face. No one else uses this stuff but me, and I can't compute how I use so much stuff, and I continue buying stuff when I already have so many things that I want to use before they go bad. A couple of the items were sent to me as gifts, PR, and stuff like that, but the rest of the stuff I bought myself. So yeah, I haven't been really doing any influencing or any skincare content in a while. As you all know, I have a baby now, and that has taken a lot of my time, and my brain does not function like it did before pregnancy. Essentially, mom brain is very real, so I just don't have the mental capacity to think so much about my skin. I mean, I still do, but if I were to show you what I'm using in my current skincare routine, we'll go through the 2025 favorites shortly. It's all tried and true stuff. It's stuff that I've used time and time again, the same sort of actives, the same type of hydrators, the same formula, the pillars of my skincare routine. It's all more or less the same. If anything, the products just change up here or there. And be as it may that I try something new, I end up going back to what works for me, and I feel like a lot of the stuff works for all of you as well. So this upcoming shopping season, I will be buying one skincare item, maybe two, an active and a moisturizer. You can guess what the active is. It's the latest azelaic acid product, and this company also sells a urea face moisturizer. It's probably one of the best ones I've tried for oily skin, so I do want to pick it up once again. But other than that, I haven't really been looking at any skincare YouTube videos. I haven't for a really long time, and I feel like that's for the best, because I just don't need to have so much skincare anymore and just use what I have. I think my skin's been looking pretty good lately. I'm using the HDR side of the selfie camera on my phone, whatever, the one that really emphasizes texture and stuff, and be as it may, my skin in person looks pretty good, and I haven't been too concerned about it, save for the occasional breakout. But yeah, that's the only thing I will be buying this Black Friday season. A lot of the stuff, I can't wait to just get it out of my apartment and free up some space and just try to comprehend how I'm going to use the rest of this skincare. I hope this video inspired you to go through your collection before purchasing anything this holiday season, just to make sure you have good skincare items that you can still use, unless you want to really stock up on the stuff that you know you're going to use within the year. For me, clearly I stock up and then just don't use anything in a timely manner, so this shopping season won't benefit me from stocking up. But yeah, either way, go through your collection before buying. Be mindful of shopping and just buy what you need and use what you buy. You use it or you lose it. The sad examples being all the retinoid prescription products that were in my collection. But I also was pregnant, so what can you do? That is it for this video. I will try to film my 2025 empties and skincare favorites soon, hopefully before the end of this year. I hope you're all doing well. I hope 2025 has been treating you well and it continues to treat you well.